Hello, Pal One. Let's see what draws people to you. And as I was entering the reading, I heard the song Fell on Black Days by Soundgarden. And I was also picking up on that people aren't just drawn to you, they also come crawling back after having left your life for whatever reason. So whether that's by your accord or theirs, they try, if they get the chance to crawl back. What draws people to pile one? Woo! Pile one, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the star, the Empress. And it's interesting because as I was shuffling there, I was getting the image of a snake climbing a tree, like slithering up the trunk of a tree. And I feel like the snake is, I had to look up the lyrics for Fell on Black Days because I only really know the I know the melody and the main bit, but I needed to look up the lyrics to get the potency of the message. I don't know that song is from the perspective of a narcissist, but I feel like perhaps you may encounter a lot of people who are full of themselves. And, they often have people eating out of their hands because of that. And then when they encounter you and you're not, desperate to eat out of their hands, I think you knock narcissists and shallow people and fake people sort of out of their boots, and they're drawn to you for that. People are also drawn to you because they feel like you will walk away from anything that isn't serving you, even if it hurts. You're super mysterious too. I'm just getting the image, on the Empress card, she has this huge forest in the background, and I am getting the image of I don't know if it's spruce, and I'm being called deeper into the symbolism of this just personally with I don't know if it's spruce and I don't know if it's Ireland, but there is this scary movie that I watched one time that was based in a forest, and it had these really tall trunks and then pine looking tree tops. They were super tall and not I don't really think they were your typical pine tree. They looked like a pine tree scaled out because there was a whole tree trunk underneath. And a lot of what we would have walked through if we were to walk through this forest in this movie, most of what we would walk through is trunk. That's how tall these trees are. And I don't know why, but that forest is really stuck with me as being spooky. And people might not only think you are like a forest in that they could almost, trees don't really have any sort of maze to them. You can dip here and dip there and dip here and dip there and keep changing direction, and you might go left, north, northwest, northeast, north. There's no straight direction through a tree, and people are sort of intrigued on how there's no through line to you, and they don't know what they're gonna get and what to expect, and it's almost like there's no comprehensiveness that's to be understood by the other as far as what you have to offer internally and personality wise, and it intrigues people because they want to see. They almost want to map out this maze and study it. And they're almost spooked by you a little bit. I feel like people are drawn into you. I'm just hearing goth girlfriends. I feel like people sort of get an occult vibe from you. And, I mean, not to be too explicit here, but if you're a female, they may be drawn. And maybe even if you're a male, just the chest area, people are drawn to your chest area. I'm being called to that through several cards. And I'm getting Cancerian vibes from you as well. I think you're nurturing and you have a lot of emotion to offer, and you're emotionally depth, and maybe people, because of your emotional depth, are sort of scared away from you and also intrigued by you because they're what is that? What's all in, what's in this bucket of water? What's in the bottom of this bucket? From the surface, if you look at a bucket, if you're just standing near a bucket full of water, from the surface it looks kind of black actually. But if you were to dip closer or put your hand in or drink from it or even pour some of it out, you would actually see that the water is crystal clear, top to bottom. So misconceptions may draw people to you. You're a bright light for very many people. For very many, that is what draws them to you. And I'm reminded of, the song Fell on Black Days by Soundgarden. Outside of the narcissistic qualities that I was sort of energetically picking up on for your pile, I think you attract people that have gone through a lot of hardship unhealed people often mimic toxic looking people, or in behavior, like unhealed behavior often looks toxic. So even someone who isn't meaning to do any wrong, can sometimes look toxic in their healing phase because, people are wounded. People are wounded. So I think you attract people that have been through hardship, and, you're sort of like this overflowing pond or like a fertile orchard, you're just very abundant emotionally. I'm hearing physically, I don't know why that keeps coming through. Some people are really drawn to you for your chest. Sorry to be so explicit. But that is coming through, so I'll just share that with you. Okay, we also have here, this is from Dream Symbology. I wanted to tap into this deck here. Use this deck today because, part of what draws people to people is a sort of subconscious process. So the card that we have for you here, Pile 1, is Cave, Tunnel, Subway. Understanding buried or ignored character traits. Searching for clarity or light at the end of the tunnel. Moving through complex internal and external paths. People definitely are drawn to you because they want to figure you out. They're definitely drawn to you because you seem like their light at the end of their tunnel. There's a lot of blue in your cards, and it's like baby blue, bright blue, sort of like a darker blue. Like there's various blues. I think people are definitely drawn to you for your emotional realm. It's like a bright neon light, like a neon flashing sign, like it's sort of buzzing. And people that are drawn to you are sort of like moths to the lamp, like obsessed. You feel like you give nutrients to them somehow. Maybe that's just like nurturing them, and they feel like satisfied. And I'm in my mind, I'm being called to. Is it the Three Little Bears, or is it three? What is it? The Three Bears children's fable, where it's like one of the soups is too hot, one's too cold, one's just right, and one, it does the same thing with the beds. Like one of the beds is too, I think it does the same thing with beds, but it's like one of the beds is too small, one's too big, one's just right. I think people feel like you are just right for them, and there's a bit of, it's fun to figure you out, and then also it's like the whole time they're figuring you out, you feel so like right. So it's like before they even know the first thing about you, they feel drawn to you, and then they find one thing, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is like I'm drawn nearer, and then another thing, I'm drawn nearer. Like the whole time though, you feel like perfect for the people that are drawn to you, and then everything they find along the way just keeps signaling like you're perfect to these people. So we will take these cards here. We have Penguin, keywords adaptability, family, endurance, iceberg, heart, snowflake, temperament, enduring, social, colors, black, white, yellow. I feel like you melt people's hearts that have been made into like glaciers, really. We have flamingo, keywords being balance, beauty, grace, symbols being feather, water, flower, temperament, graceful, social, colors, pink and white. I think one of the reasons people feel that you fit so right, especially these people that come to you like out of hardship, or they've had like a lot of hardship in life, maybe they're not coming to you out of hardship. I mean, maybe they very well are, but some people have just had like a series of hard things happen to them in life and are just sort of like hardened by that, or they've been made cold by that, they've been left in the cold and they haven't really like came back in. You're like a hearth. And you don't judge people for what they've been through or like what they had to do to survive. People feel just really accepted by you because of that. We also have the hummingbird here standing for joy, energy, and resilience. Symbols being flower, wings, infinity symbol. Temperament being energetic and playful. The colors being green, red, purple. We have parrot. Keywords being communication, color, sociability. Symbols being speech bubble, rainbow, community. Temperament being social, vocal, colors being green, red, blue, yellow. I feel like for people, you aren't just this like bright white light, bright white pure light. You're the rainbow. You like remind people what life is about. We have the rook here. These are all birds, by the way. The keywords here, intelligence, community, adaptability. Symbols being book, nest, gear. Temperament being sociable, intelligent, and colors being black. We have the ibis, or ibis. I'm not totally sure. The keywords here being adaptability, resourcefulness, spirituality, symbols being feather, water, eye, temperament being spiritual, resourceful, colors being white, black, and red. You know, I feel like we have feather coming out like multiple times here. You are quite spiritual yourself, and you know, maybe you don't wear that on your sleeve. Maybe it's something just like you have a belief, like maybe you don't believe in like a religious God, but you believe in like God as in like the universe, and then God being like the one and the all and the nothing, and you know, you're included in that. And I feel like you heal people's spirits, like when they come to you. You heal souls. We also have toucan here for keywords being beauty, communication, curiosity, symbols being beak, speech, bubble, fruit, and temperament being curious, vocal, colors being black, yellow, red. We have the weaver here, keywords being creativity, community, craftsmanship, symbols being loom, thread, nest, temperament being creative, industrious, colors being yellow and black. And I don't know why, but this song keeps coming up, so I'm just gonna share it. But that one song, and I don't know if it was Wiz Khalifa. I can't remember. It's been a long time at this point, but it was Black and Yellow. I remember not liking the song actually, like at the time, but it just repeats black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I remember my peers though were like really into that, but for some reason that's like coming up. You know, maybe something around the time frame of that song coming out is significant for you, or just something about that song. But the last card we have here is parakeet. Keywords being sociability, joy, communication, symbols being speech, bubble, music note, and feather once more. Temperament being sociable, joyful, and colors being green, yellow, and blue. And I had twice coming through as I was going through these cards. People really look at you and feel like you are a living, breathing example of just hard work paying off. And the work that you put into the things that you want paying off. And the things that you want being achievable. Pile 1, we have for your flowers here, answering the question, what draws people to you? We have sage, representing wisdom, immortality. Hyacinth, representing sport, game, play. Honeysuckle, representing bonds of love. Violet, representing watchfulness, modesty, faithfulness. And in the last card have Tansy, representing hostile thoughts, declaring war. So it is definitely coming through that while you're someone who's gentle, people find, you know they can come to you and sort of like, replenish their heart, replenish their soul. At the same time, people realize though, like how playful you are, and they want to play around with you. I mean, it's a very like, innocent and pure playfulness. Like it feels just very like innocent, really. And people like appreciate that, and honestly it's really refreshing for people because there's no low vibrations to your play, and even your play is restorative. Like even your play doesn't wear down the body, the heart, the mind, and it's refreshing because of that. On the outside of these people though, how when people who are just, I'm just hearing they're weathered is how it's coming through, and they've been weathered by life, maybe, or just experiencing, I don't know why it's coming through like this, but I'm just hearing that they're dry, and I don't, maybe their cups are dry, but just maybe emotionally they just need to, water up a bit, carry some more emotion. Maybe these people are very cold and don't hold too much empathy. But I feel like, for the most part, who's drawn to you are these people who want you to impart the wisdom that you have to offer from your soul onto their soul. I mean, they are like feeling it. Your soul is so. You make other people's energy feel like you're like, you've swaddled it. You've really, you feel like that. And there's so much imagery in your cards of just like waterfalls and flowing. Like, there's no crevice that the water won't go into. It's falling until it isn't. And I mean, like when you cut people off, that water dries up. And I mean, people feel that and they know they've been cut off. So let's get into your final messages from Spirit, Pile 1. Just before I break down these messages here on these cards that we got, I got the image of like a clay. It doesn't have to be clay, but that's kind of what it was in my mind's eye. It's like it was a clay like pitcher. I feel like people really just come to you because of your overflowing cup. I mean, it's more than a cup. You have so much to offer. It's more than a cup. It appears from the outside. So, you know, it looks like you have a pitcher's worth. And they're like, well, surely to God, I can fill up my little tiny dry cup in that. And you're like, you can fill it up so much it's overflowing in here, baby. But in these last cards, we have Ocean's Call. People are drawn to you because of destiny, pull of the unknown, following intuition, the call to adventure, inevitable change, the lure of the unknown. We also have Sea Spray. People are drawn to you for your energy, your life force, vitality, cleansing energy, refreshing spirit, and the force of nature that you hold within you. We also have the Ocean's Heart here. People are drawn to you for your deep love and emotional depth. You offer unconditional love, emotional, you have an emotional core and deep connections and a passionate intensity about you. And our last card we have here is Moonlit Sea. People are just drawn to you for purposes of reflection and intuition. You know, you offer emotional depth and a space for introspection, and you allow people to connect more easily to their subconscious. And because of that, when people connect with you, they connect to subconscious cycles. And, you work with people's subconscious, and their subconscious is working with you. And I think you are aware of that, but people don't understand that. And, maybe that's a little bit of the frightening energy that they're giving off is like, you have sort of like a mastermind quality about you, honestly. And then people are hoping, with all this energy that they're coming to you because they're so called to you through their intuition, and then also because you're so loving, they're hoping and praying that you're not going to do anything malicious, because you 100%, you 101% could. So that's sort of like what the fear is about. And I'm getting chills as I say that, and it's 3:00 right now on my clock. So I want to just end your reading off there, Pile 1. That was honestly really intense and awesome, and I hope it was really helpful for you or informative, and there was something you can pull away from that. If you are called to another pile, I'll see you there now, but if not, I hope to see you in another reading soon. Bye. Hello, I am Luna. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Pile 2, you're in the right spot, so let's go ahead and begin. Pile 2, for sure. I don't want to say your looks, but you definitely have like a seductive energy. Woo! We have King of Cups for you, Pile 2. So I was definitely picking up on, I want to read what the guidebook says for this card, because I think very potently how it describes this card is the energy that I'm picking up on. But I would just say, sort of in an explicit and in a more like concise way, the energy that draws people to you, you have like a dominant energy, and also like this sort of energy. Okay, I just heard senpai. I do not know what that means. Let me look this up. Hold on. Good Lord. Okay, yeah, that's sort of like the vibe I was getting though. Like, so okay, I guess I should read that to you. It says, senpai is a Japanese word that refers to someone who is more experienced, older, or higher in rank than another person. So you certainly give off the sort of vibe that's like dominant, and also like the sort of vibe that's like, I have something I can teach you, but it's not like you're out to teach people, but people are like, oh my God, teach me. Okay, you might have people that are like really thirsty for you because you just give off like stable, mature vibes. So people are like, oh my God, I want you to provide for me. So the guidebook for this card, it reads, for King of Cups, he holds a short scepter in his left hand and a great cup in his right. His throne is set up on the sea. On one side a ship is riding, and on the other a dolphin is leaping. That's a dolphin? I have always, this fish looks like a whale, but I literally have always thought that was a fish, and like literally it looks like a Dr. Seuss fish, like one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, like that's what it looks like, but that's a dolphin. The implicit symbolism here is that the sign of the cup It refers to water. It appears in all the court cards, and the divinatory meanings here are, this card represents a fair man, a man of business, law, one of divinity, one who's responsible and disposed to oblige to. So you seem like someone who is like obliged to serve others, or like you have like a very dutiful personality, and people are like drawn to that. They're like they want to be the job that you're doing. The person that this card represents, so you, pile 2, you're equitable. You might be interested in arts and sciences. Maybe you have a degree in art and science. Maybe you're interested in law and art. There's a creative intelligence here. And I just got in my mind's eye the symbol of like scales, like Libran scales. So people find you to be very fair. And it's like the way that this person, like, you seem like very stoic, and people are like drawn to that because they know how mature and like stable you are. So they like want to get that emotional side out of you. It's not that they don't see it, it's just that they know it's there and they want to get that. It's like when you see a toy on the shelf that you really want, you're like, it's there, you just want it, but you might not get it. But one of the feet, the foot is pointing towards like, the body language on this card just sort of signifies to me like someone who isn't like obsessed with being a people pleaser. Like, I definitely don't get that vibe here, but it's like if you become a querent of mine, or like you have a question or something you need help with and I can be of service, I will make myself of service. It's like that. I get like a very like masculine, and that doesn't mean you have to be like a male, but there's like a very like action driven energy here, and like a very like I'm gonna provide energy. People are drawn to you because they feel like you, despite all the stability they feel like you just transform like through destruction though. Also, like, there's a lot of power and intensity through you, and like it's even more so because it just sits there stable. Like, it's kind of scary to look at. It's kind of scary to, if I were an opponent of yours, my goodness, like, I would actually, I don't know why I just went there. You might have, I'm not actually a competitive person, but for some reason I went into that mind space. So you might have people who like stack themselves up against you often, and they are, very intimidated by what they see, because from top to bottom, it's like rock. Like, it's solid all the way through, and that's intimidating. They didn't want to look at what they were hoping was like this sand gravel pit, and then it's like a marble statue that like isn't budging and is like total and whole, and you're like, ah. People are drawn to you. We have the gift and devil card here. They feel like you would be a gift. You're something exciting. You seem like you would offer a lot of surprise. People don't know what they would get from you. And also, you just have this general, temptation about you. I think more so than even pile 1. There's, you make people thirsty. And I mean, what's really funny? Pile 2, what's hilarious is I'm noticing here is like, King of Cups. I'll just bring the card over. On King of Cups, he's like sitting on his throne, like in an ocean really, but he's like dry. I'm just getting that people, your reading could be as explicit as I want to make it. Okay, people are nasty for you, pal, too. You have people in their ocean mode, and then, you're sitting up here on your throne like, you're not doing anything. People, you just have a lot of sex appeal, okay? That's just it. Oh my goodness. My back is getting like, there's like just this hot rush like up my spine and really like my whole back, and I feel like people sort of have visceral reactions to you, and that definitely draws them nearer to you, because I mean their body is like, they're having bodily reactions to like your energy in the side of you and watching you operate. We have, that's interesting. Just after I said, we have people that just, are drawn to you to just watch what you do. And we have Mockingbird come out. Keywords being mimicry, adaptability, intelligence. Symbols being mask, voice, mirror. Temperament being adaptable, intelligent. Colors being gray, white. I think you are quite mysterious. I think people make you out to be more mysterious than you truly are. Because you contain, you're very whole, and you know, people don't understand when they meet totality. It's hard to look at it all at once. So, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings that come along with understanding you, or shall I say misunderstanding you. People are naughty with you, pal, too. That's for sure. That's coming through, okay? People are nasty for you, pal, too. You know, it's coming through for me, though, that you act almost as a mirror for people's behavior, and it's because, you know, you're so whole yourself. You're not really desperate. You don't need anything from anyone else. So, like, you know, you're not going above and beyond to people please, as I said earlier. And oftentimes when people interact with you, all they get is what they give. And you act like a mirror in that way. You know, all people get from you is what they give, and that's because you're not trying to get anything from them, and you're also, you know, you're very, like, practical. And I'm trying to, like, tease that out a little bit more, but I'm struggling at the moment. Let's just pull some more cards. We have Mint representing virtue. People are drawn to you because of silence. Your silence. You seem to have good fortune, and I'm hearing you make a good teammate, but you're not one that's searching for a team. You know, you're almost like a team in and of yourself. People are amazed by, like, your ability. People are drawn to you from jealousy. You're someone who's incredibly innocent, though, and loyal and love, and, you know, someone who doesn't kiss and tell, despite how dirty people are for you, pal, too. I think you're someone who's really, like, I want to say, like, noble, honestly, is coming to mind, and also, there's something, like, lingering in my mind, and I can't grab it, and it's like respectable, but it's like, you know, you're definitely respectable, but it goes off like the don't kiss and tell thing, you know. I feel like you keep your private matters private, and that is very respectable. I mean, people respect you for it. People are drawn to you because in some sense they feel flattered by you. And an insecure person, you might trigger, you know, you might trigger low vibrational interactions because the way in which you flatter people, and a low vibrational person, they might feel like it's not sincere, you know. So you might on occasion deal with people who, like, just don't understand that something like you could be true. Don't take that to heart, pile, too. Because the very next thing we have coming out is truth. People are drawn to you because you are the truth. You live in truth. You live by your truth and according to your truth. And, you know, you don't falter from that. You're very principled. We also have good luck, love, and marriage. You know, you're definitely marriage material, but I don't see you as someone who is locked down. You know, you got yourself locked down, but I don't feel like you're locked down, really. I think, you know, it's not that you're open. It's not that you're locked. We also have people are drawn to you for justice, and I'll never forget you. The people, you know, not everybody can have you. Only, you know, typically in I'll say in the average sense, only one person will have you, if any at all. And it's because of that, all the people that you interact with, though, over the years, like, they'll never forget the impact that you had on their lives. You know, even if it wasn't meant to be a lifelong commitment or a lifelong friendship or, you know, just a long stretch of friendship, they do take what you did give them with them, like, for life. I don't know why. I'm just being, like, I just feel like I really enjoy doing your reading, pile, too. Like, I always enjoy doing my readings, but I especially enjoy doing yours. And, you know, I'm a hard worker myself, and I just feel like maybe we were related on that on that point. And, yeah. I don't know what else to say, like, on that. But I just feel like I recognize, like, the hard worker in you, and, you know, I feel like oftentimes hard work goes unacknowledged and goes hidden a lot, and yeah, just, you're super awesome, pal, too. That's why people are drawn to you. But okay, so we have people are drawn to you because of a memory or a connection. Okay, so this is coming back to I'll never forget you for me. You have definitely a group of people. I'm getting more than one. You know, and they don't have to be, like, connected at all in real life. They could be from completely different social spheres, completely different, like, settings. You have people, though, that hold on to the past, like, cherished memories of you, personal secrets of yours or theirs that they've shared with you, and the connection that they have to you is, like, they hold on to that. It's a very loving one. We also have people are drawn to you for risk and danger, caution, hidden threats, navigating challenges, and facing fears. You know, people feel like you have so much stability there's perhaps something that they could learn from you. I'm getting though that this pulls to you. You have figures that are pulled to you that sort of just want to take what they can and then go. And I don't want to say that that's so horrible, but like, because aren't we kind of all just doing that, like, to some extent? But I mean, when it comes from a place of not love, I guess it becomes like, it becomes low vibrational, and then you don't want that. So really, like, discernment is always important. I feel like people may come to you because they're like, they can solve all my problems, and then they're sort of these figures at the same time that want you to solve all their problems have the capacity to become jealous because you are able to. It becomes like almost like a stamp of inadequacy on their end. They feel like that you were able to help them. So that's for some, not all. It's definitely not the focus of the people who are coming to you. You're an exceptional person. You can't help but have some questionable characters come around, from time to time, trying to make their way into your life whenever you're the person you are. And we have 323 on the clock as I say that. And you're someone to be celebrated, like a party, okay? That's just coming through to me right now. But back to the cards, we have the literal siren card coming out, okay? Like, I made a whole deck based off, like, mermaid imagery, and, like, there's only one card in there that says siren, and I was telling you earlier, like, people get nasty for your pow too, okay? Like, mentally, okay, they might even be physically doing things, okay, like, to themselves and, whatever. We won't go into all that. So we have, for siren, temptation alert. Like, my mind was blanking there. I think people just become, I think for some reason, because I don't get, like, you put off a super, like, sex forward persona. I actually feel like you might be the type to wear, like, rather, I don't want to say regular, but, like, typical maybe, or, like, more normal clothing than, like, a sex forward you might expect someone that would wear. Like, I'm getting, like, the image of, like, polo shirts, or, like, button-ups, or, like, a nice pair of jeans. Like, very, like, I'm almost getting, like, business casual. I don't think business casual is, like, an sex forward attire, but something about you, Pal 2, is just something about you allures people to you, okay? People are seduced. They feel like just the power of attraction with you, and they feel like there might be, like, an illusion or like a curtain to get behind with you, and they want to be behind the curtain. I think people fantasize, like, often about you, Pile 2. So we also have people are drawn to you for diversity and life purposes, for community, to learn resilience and to feel protected. People are also drawn to you. We have for focus and precision. I feel like you are highly focused, and you know how to target goals, to direct your action, to be and stay determined, and to overcome obstacles. I think people, definitely witness this in you and are drawn to you for that, for good and bad. And lastly, we have waterfall, representing release and cleansing. Woo! And we have emotional release, renewal, the power of surrender, and natural flow. Like, people think with you that they could, as I said earlier, I'm picking up, like, a very masculine, a healthy masculine energy on this, like a masculine forward energy, and it's healthy for this pile. And so the people that are drawn to you are people who want to rest easily in their divine feminine space. So someone who can rest easily in their emotional space, and in just a receptive space. So, just certainly, I think you are quite keen, but just be careful of, I don't want to instill fear in you or anything, because I think you are so, you're so keen and you're discerning and all this yourself, and I think you already have, like, a careful eye on you. But, definitely just watch out for people who maybe don't have the best intentions, because what you have to offer is going to be right for the right person, and it's right for all, but that doesn't mean all would be right for you. A toxic person could step into that position and deplete you, whereas a high vibrational person is going to replenish what you are putting into them in their own unique way. But pile 2, that was an awesome and hearty reading. And I hope you pulled some really useful information out of that, or just enjoyable information, or information that was new to you. Let me know what resonated, if anything. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Definitely subscribe, and if you were compelled to watch another pile, I will find you there now, but if not, I will hopefully see you in another reading here soon. Bye! Hello! If you chose pile 3, you are in the right spot, so let's begin. You know, and I want to say before we get started, I was hearing, coming into your reading, Dancing Queen by ABBA, and so let's tap into this energy a little bit more. I literally just felt like I needed to like shape up. Wow. So what draws people to you is you are like mentally, physically, materially, you are set. People look at you and like they see a warrior, honestly. They just feel like they see someone who seems like they've overcome a lot and is really strong because of it. I mean, like, I'm just hearing adversity. Like someone who's overcame adversity and won against all odds. And wow. So let's tap into this a little bit more, pile 3. You know, and I'm noticing here in his hand, golden apple, and there's something about a golden apple that may be significant to you. I wanted to read the guidebook real fast for the Emperor. So the key words for this card from the guidebook are stability, power, aid, protection, a great person, conviction, reason. You do seem like someone who has a lot of reason to offer, and you do seem like someone who has a lot of conviction and a lot of power and a lot of stability. And like, you know, I'm getting the image of like a longhouse, or like someone who owns a longhouse. You know, I feel like the person like that's sort of like out in the cold, and like I'm like yearning for the fire and like the shelter and like all this that you have to offer. And like you seem like you could offer help because you're so strong and stable. All right, this is a giant stack, but we're just gonna take it. So we have, people are drawn to you because they see you as a bridge between two paths or choices. You're a bridge of some sort for people. So like maybe people see you as, you know, a way to level themselves up. We also have autumn here. So people come to you for your maturity, and you're able to offer like helpful reflections and put people in a space of productive introspection, and you help people prepare for change and rest. You may even help people change and rest. People come to you, we have the diary card here. People come to you because you have a collection of personal reflections, and you know, you have a life you've lived. People want to know your perspective on things. They want to know your thoughts, your emotions on things, and they want to discover what's within you, what you've been through. You know, I get the sense that people might ask you to like tell them stories of things that you've been through, like you have a lot of stories. So we also have fur here, representing animal instincts and comfort in one's own skin. So I definitely feel like you are someone who's comfortable in your skin. I feel like, you know, people who maybe hide emotions or shield emotions or don't face certain thoughts or certain realities within their environments, like they're especially drawn to you because you seem so comfortable in your own skin. We also have pillow here, representing rest, need for emotional support, security, comfort, support. You know, I feel like you're a shoulder to cry on, a person to lean on. I just heard walking stick. You know, you may be something to lean on, someone to lean on, and also like a guiding figure. And also a place of like, I just heard Respute, but let me look that up. I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't even know if that is a word. I don't think Respute is a word. I don't know what I was trying to get at with that, but... And I just noticed there, like, as I left my timer, it was on 1230 and 1230, and as I came back to it, it was on 11:59. You know, people may come to you, like, they feel like they need one last thing, or they feel like they need something to, you know, get to their next segment in their journey. They come to you. We have glasses here, though, ability to see clearly. You know, maybe what in self-awareness, gaining perception, improving perception, maybe what people come to you for, this thing people come to you for, is just simply perception. People feel like you have a lot of perspective to offer. People come to you. We have the curtain card here representing portal, boundary. You know, maybe that's something people want to learn is boundaries, and they feel that they can learn them from you. You're also a portal, as in you take people from point A to point B, and you do that easily, you know. We also have swimming pool here, spiritual renewal and emotional reflection, spiritual clarity, spiritual connectedness. Egg, representing potential or fertility, new beginnings, birth of creative ideas, growth in unexpected places. We also have cage. You know, so I'm getting here people that feel overwhelmed by life, people that are new to life in some sense, and people who feel trapped, people who are searching. You know, we have swimming pools, so people who feel like they're drowning in something. We have eggs, someone who is new to something. We have cage, someone who's trapped by something. We have diving, a searcher, you know, someone who's searching. And we have knock, someone who's like looking for answers. You know, these are the sort of people that are coming to you. And we have boat, you know, still the searching energy. But then also, you know, you as a person, you're someone who navigates. You know, you're the captain. You know, they're driving the boat with no captain is what it feels like, and you're the captain. We also have bath and fog here. So bath discusses, you know, a cleansing of inner and outer self, but also immersion in feelings or a need to relieve guilt. People who need to forgive or let go of some circumstance or scenario or situation. And people who are facing confusion, feeling lost or disoriented. These are the sort of people that are coming to you because you offer stability and like, it's like all your survival needs are met. So people who are still in survival mode are drawn to you for your resource and like your ability to provide for yourself, and then your ability to then provide for others if you so choose to. And I keep getting like the image of like someone who like has rosy cheeks from like working out in the cold, and like I'm getting the image of like someone chopping wood in the cold, and maybe that's just symbolic, like hard work, and even if the weather is the worst, you know, someone who does what it takes no matter what. And you know, also just the image of a cabin comes to mind, someone who lives in a cabin in sort of the middle of nowhere, and maybe you do, maybe you dream to, or maybe this is just sort of the energy you have where it's like, you know, you sort of live in a hermit energy. People view you as someone who's really reflective, and they're drawn to you for that. You know, they want to know what insight you have. So for these cards, we have... Okay, so I'm not going to read this card out just in case. I don't want my video to get flagged or anything, and I don't really know all of the nuances to YouTube's rules. So I'm not going to pronounce this bird's name because it has something explicit in the name. But the keywords for this card are curiosity, diligence, adaptability, magnifying glass, hammer, leaf, temperament being curious, diligent. We have the cross bill standing for uniqueness, resourcefulness, tree, cross, key. You know, again, we just have the sort of person that's coming to you is the sort of person that is searching for something, you know, and they feel like you have the keys to the thing that they're searching for. We also have Starling, and you know, I love that name for this reading because I do feel like, just coming back to that egg, and like the sort of person that comes to you is like the one that's searching. You're like looking for something, you're like moving on from point A to point B, and like you're a bridge for that, and a well of knowledge and just resource. And you know, I feel like the sort of person that flocks to you is a future starlet. You know, someone who they haven't found their own way yet. So they're like looking for someone, and they see you found your way, and they like your way, and they like how your way is for you, and they're trying to figure out the way for them. So they want to do that through you if you so let them, you know. People flock to you for that. You might have like a lot of people who are sort of like, you know, not mentors, but like what's the person who's like in the mentoree position, you know, like the person that's like studying. You might have like you might be a mentor to a lot of people. We also have Blue Jay here, keywords being intelligence, communication, determination, symbols being acorn, feather, bell, temperament being assertive, intelligent. You know, I definitely get the sense like people feel like you do not like F around, you do not BS. And, you know, you're the sort of person people don't want to disappoint, and you're the sort of person your energy, people think about it later when you're not even around, you influence people that strongly, or your energy is that strong. You know, when people are in circumstances later, they're like, I know blah 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 wouldn't like this, or I know blah 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 would disapprove of this, so even though I kind of want to do it, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to have to tell blah 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 about this later. Like, you make people better versions of themselves because they don't want to disappoint you. That's like really, I'm getting cold chills as I say that. That's like really, you're amazing for being that way, Pile 3. Additionally, we have here the Robin card. The keywords being renewal, joy, hope, symbols being egg, branch, sun, and you know, temperament being cheerful, optimistic. I just got the image of an incubator, I think it's called. I'm not incubator, an intubator. I can't remember, but it's like this warm thing that you can put baby eggs in so that they can hatch. And I feel like that's what your energy feels like to these eggs. You know, these people that you're mentoring, they're like your eggs, and you're the incubator. The incubator, and you're warming them and letting them hatch and like letting them come from yolk to chicken. You know, you're that bridge. The incubator is sort of like a bridge from egg to chicken. And we have nightjar, so keywords here being camouflage, mystery, quiet, symbols being moon, leaf, shadow, temperament being mysterious, elusive. We also have the canary here, which was used in coal mines to detect poison to miners. The keywords here are joy, light, song, symbols being music note, sun, and smile, temperament being cheerful and melodious. So people feel like you are their canary. You know, they feel like the coal miners. You know, people feel like people who are in the trenches of their life feel like you're their canary, and you can help them detect like the hardships that might be along the way, or you know, how you might detect, you know, situations that are sticky or that they need to get away from. You can guide people very concisely what's working and not for them. And lastly, we have sparrow, which represents a death omen. The person who catches the sparrow must kill it or else die themselves, it's said. The keywords for this card are community, simplicity, diligence. Symbols being house, seed, basket. Temperament being social and industrious. Let me look up what the person who catches the sparrow must kill it or else die themselves. Let me look up what all that is about. I'm not, you know, I'm just researching this in passing and casually, but apparently that is, you know, Norwegian folklore to the belief that if a person who catches a sparrow must kill it or else die themselves. I don't know, you know, the validity of that. But I did want to note, though, that Hamlet has I don't know if it's a sonnet or what, he has something written called Sparrow. Maybe there's a message for that in there, but apparently Hamlet features, wait. Sorry, I was just calling Shakespeare Hamlet. So Shakespeare's works often feature sparrows, apparently, and in Hamlet, the sparrow signifies fragility and unpredictability of life. You're also someone who's quite humble, and what I'm getting from this card essentially is, you know, the eggs that metaphorically, you know, the metaphorical eggs that are coming to you to be incubated, they almost feel like it's either do or die with you. Like, they will either meet your expectations or they'll have to like leave your life. Or I feel like it's like, you know, maybe some of these eggs have like you know, a life lesson to learn and then take with them. And you know, birds, they leave the nest. So maybe a lot of these life lessons maybe a lot of this knowledge you're imparting on these eggs, you're expecting them to take with them and, you know, leave. And, you know, that's not in a like a hurtful way or anything. That's just like the that's the naturalness of your position and theirs. And, you know, you expect that and you understand that. But I feel like from the egg's perspective, you know, they're sort of like, if I don't take flight from this nest, these other birds are, you know, I might get pecked to death or like be left for dead, or I might not get fed any worms, or, you know, somehow, you know, they just feel like they have to either, maybe you give tough love, or people feel like in comparison to what they want, because maybe they just want soft love, but maybe that's why they have the problems that they have. Okay, it's because they're not used to someone being like, you know, so what they want, they don't know what they want may not be what they need, and maybe that's why they feel like, you know they need to come to you, but they might not want tough love, so they might feel like if they don't do this, if they don't show up a certain way, you know, and I honestly think you would give people a lot of space so long as they're being sincere, even if they're at the bottom, even if they're in the pits, in the trenches. I think so long as that person is being sincere, you'll stick by them. You're very loyal, and, you know, you're not gonna kill the sparrow, really. Like, you're not gonna kill the sparrow. You're not gonna kill your eggs, you know, unless they're rotten. That's the thing. Okay, so, but, you know, yeah, what is there to say? If you're rotten and fearful, maybe you're fearful justfully, you know? But let's get into your last... We have 2 more decks I want to pull from, and then we will close out your reading, pile 3. Yours was hefty for sure. Hopefully helpful, though. Hefty, but hopefully helpful. In answering what draws people to you, we have red salvia representing protection and healing. We also have rosemary representing a connection to tradition and heritage. And rosemary is a plant that prefers well-drained soil in dry conditions. And that's just making me remember, you know, or it's calling me back to earlier when I said you might be someone who gives tough love. And, you know, the rosemary on occasion may not think, you know, I don't know, you know, I was trying to think of another way to put this, but like the conditions that the rosemary needs is dry soil. But it might think it wants wet soil, but when it comes to you, you know, you're not gonna just water and drench the soil. You're gonna give it what it needs. And it might be like, oh, my soil's so dry. But you know, you won't say anything. You won't say anything, and these people might think they're suffering when they come to you, and that's why they think it's do or die. And there's quite a dramatic flair to it, honestly. And maybe these people are just actually they're partly going through their life lessons, and they're partly attributing, you know, the trials of their life lessons to the help that you're giving them, and they're like, this is so hard because I'm doing it, but like it's the circumstances are just difficult, and sometimes circumstances just are, you know. It's not hard because you face them, or harder because you face them. It's just when you face them, you must look at how difficult or not it is. But that it's not difficult because you face it. It was objectively difficult before you faced it. You know, and so they kind of attribute like your help and you turning them to it as like you giving them tough love, but like you're not, you know, there's no toughness really to it. It's all love. So we also have the lotus here for purity, enlightenment, self-regeneration, and rebirth. Certainly that is why people are drawn to you, pile 3. We also have lemon balm representing sympathy. Thrives best with consistent moisture. You know, I think consistency is what you look for from people when they're in the pits, in the trenches, and blah, blah, blah. And am I going to remain loyal to them from your standpoint is whether or not they're being consistent. Are you consistently doing your best? Like, you know, sometimes our best isn't that great because we're having a rough day, and like, you understand that. Sometimes our best is like, you know, it's just a little bit because we're having a rough day, and like, you don't expect people to be like freaking mountain climbers every day. You know, you understand sometimes, you know, you're setting up camp to get some warmth and you need that. People just aren't used to it, but they know, ultimately their souls know at their core you're what's best for them, so that's why they keep coming back. Even though it's difficult, you know, people do know ultimately it's what's right. So even though it's difficult, they keep coming back because they know you are pure and well-meaning. And you offer sympathy, genuine sympathy and comfort and healing. And the last card we have here for plants is the red dragon, representing, you know, your distinctiveness. And this is actually a nod from your recipient. So all those that you have mentored, they have admiration towards you is what this card stands for. They admire you very deeply. You help people like transform from caterpillar to butterfly. Literally. And I'm like hearing like from mushy caterpillar to like steel butterfly. You make people strong. And the final card we will end on for you, pile 3, is we get Mermaid's Harp, representing music and harmony, creativity, emotional expression through art, harmony and life, and soothing energies. And I just got the image in my mind's eye of someone who does woodworking. You know, I feel like the reason people are drawn to you, pile 3, is because you teach them how to be harmonious. That's it, plain and simple. You teach people how to live in harmony, and I mean, it's an addictive frequency to exist on, and people are sort of addicted to reaching it within their own lives, and people are drawn to you because of that, you know, the addiction to that drive. But I just want to say, Pile 3, you are very admirable, and I hope this was an informative read for you. If it was, don't forget to like, subscribe if you feel compelled to, leave your thoughts in the comments if you feel like mentioning what resonated with you. And if you were called to another pile and haven't already, I'll find you there now. But if not, I hope to see you in another reading here soon. Bye.